In a world where visibility equals power, where billionaires live stream their lives and politicians chase cameras like moths to flame, one man reigns in near total silence. No tweets, no red carpets, no viral clips, just presence. Unmistakable, dignified, immovable. His name is Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, the ruler of Oman. And while you may not see him on the front pages or trending hashtags, make no mistake, his influence stretches far beyond borders, across oceans and above the clouds. Unlike the loud elites of our time, Sultan Haitham doesn't need noise to make waves. His leadership is cloaked in discretion, his movements carefully choreographed, and his lifestyle? It's the kind of opulence whispered about in diplomatic circles, rarely captured in photos, never paraded for the public. This is not a tale of fame. It's a rare glimpse into a kingdom of refined power, where every jet, yacht, and convoy is part of a larger strategy, not to impress, but to maintain quiet dominance. Let's start at 40,000 feet, where the story truly takes flight. While many global figures rent private jets for convenience, Sultan Haitham commands a fleet that could rival a small air force. His aircraft are more than modes of transportation. They are symbols of authority, airborne sanctuaries from which a nation's future can be navigated. The crown jewel? A Boeing 747-8BJ, operated under Oman's royal flight. Known by its call sign, Nizwa, this aircraft is worth over $200 million and doubles as a flying palace and strategic command post. Every inch of the interior reflects a philosophy of controlled elegance, gold-accented surfaces, artisan leather upholstery, and private chambers reserved for classified meetings. But Nizwa isn't alone. The Sultan's aerial fleet includes custom Airbus A310s and A320s for shorter, regional engagements, and a Gulfstream G550 for long-haul missions requiring agility, discretion, and top-tier security. The Gulfstream is often the aircraft of choice for sudden, sensitive trips abroad. Then there's the vertical advantage, the helicopters. The Sultan's Super Puma fleet is always on standby, prepared to lift him from yacht to palace, desert base to mountain retreat, within minutes. These choppers are fast, fortified, and outfitted with emergency response tech the average billionaire's jet could never match. Everything is rehearsed. Flight paths are confidential. Crews are selected not just for skill, but for absolute loyalty. And there's always a backup plan in motion. Second aircraft, security drones, satellite monitoring. His air travel isn't about indulgence. It's about precision, security, strategy. He doesn't fly for luxury. He flies to rule from the sky. If the heavens belong to him, the seas are no exception. The Sultan's presence on water is marked by two monumental vessels, the Fulk al-Salamah and the Al-Said. But don't be fooled by their clean exteriors. These are not mere yachts. They are mobile royal courts. Fulk al-Salamah, translated as Ship of Peace, is anything but ordinary. Built by Italy's Mariotti shipyard and rumored to have cost over $500 million, this vessel functions as a maritime embassy. It carries medical facilities, a full-service beauty salon, a conference wing, a beach club, and a helipad, all designed to serve the Sultan, his guests, and his national interests on the go. Then there's the Al-Said. Constructed by Germany's Lürssen, it's a $300 million floating opera house. Its interior is carved from Omani hardwoods, draped in silk, and graced with sweeping sea views. It has room for an orchestra, but more importantly, it's a projection of soft power, cultural sophistication blended with sovereign force. These ships don't dock quietly. When they arrive in foreign ports, be it in Europe, Asia, or the Gulf, the message is unmistakable: Oman is watching, and its ruler doesn't arrive unannounced. Every landing is timed, every appearance mapped to diplomatic schedules. They may look like super yachts, but they function more like stealth embassies cloaked in nautical elegance. And unlike the party boats of the ultra-rich, there are no celebrity guests aboard. No tabloid scandals. Only statecraft behind heavy oak doors. On land, Sultan Haitham continues his theme of silent power. His motorcade isn't just expensive, it's engineered for survival, security, and symbolism. Leading the pack is a Mercedes Maybach S600. Bulletproof, bomb-resistant, and exuding royal dignity, this vehicle is his personal stronghold on wheels. It glides, never growls. It's built to resist even the harshest modern threats, and its presence alone can shift the tone of a state visit. Behind it, the convoy becomes a choreography of elite engineering, a Bugatti Chiron for unmatched speed, a Rolls-Royce Phantom for ceremonial occasions, and the Bentley Bentayga for when the Sultan ventures into Oman's wild, untamed terrain. The Bentayga isn't just a luxury SUV, it's an off-road warhorse with armor, bulletproof windows, and a handcrafted engine that can outpace any danger. It's custom-made to blend Arabian luxury with military-grade muscle. Even the E-Class limousines used in his entourage are more than chauffeured rides. They're signals of tradition, reminders that this ruler moves not just through cities, but through history. And yet, none of these cars are showcased in expos or Instagram reels. You'll rarely see a Sultan convoy unless it's meant to be seen. When it appears, it sends a signal, not of vanity, but of control. Every movement Sultan Haitham makes is calculated. He doesn't go anywhere, he is deployed. Before he sets foot outside a palace, a reconnaissance team has already mapped the entire route. Tactical vehicles are positioned. Surveillance is activated. Local police forces coordinate with royal guards. It's a modern ballet of security, rehearsed and refined. Overhead, helicopters track his convoy. On the ground, medical units trail closely. Each red light, each pedestrian crossing, each rooftop is accounted for. The Sultan's safety is managed like a head of state during wartime, and yet you'll hear no sirens. See no frantic motion. Everything flows in quiet unity. And that's the genius of it. Power isn't loud. It's composed. If the skies belong to his fleet and the oceans answer to his yachts, then the earth itself bears the footprint of Sultan Haytham's quiet rule. But his palaces aren't splashed across magazines or flaunted in architectural showcases. They don't beg to be noticed, they're built to disappear into their surroundings, only known to those who need to know. Oman's royal residences are not just places of rest. They're fortresses of function, diplomacy, and legacy. Nestled in the heart of Muscat, the Al Alam Palace stands as a ceremonial masterpiece, a vibrant blue and gold structure flanked by Portuguese-era forts, echoing Oman's rich past and careful neutrality in the present. Yet this is merely the public face of the monarchy. The Sultan's true world extends far beyond. Scattered across Oman and abroad are hidden estates, private compounds built with a philosophy of security and serenity. In the deserts, you'll find sprawling properties camouflaged into the dunes, heat-resistant, self-sustaining, and fortified. Along the coast, there are modern beachfront residences where the sea breeze carries not laughter, but silence. Inside these palaces, luxury is not loud. It's coated in the marble imported from Carrara, the hand-woven rugs from Nizwa, the walls inlaid with mother-of-pearl and trimmed in gold leaf, not to dazzle, but to honor Omani tradition. Each residence doubles as a command center. Private communication hubs, underground tunnels, escape routes, climate-controlled vaults for cultural artifacts. And always, a discreet army of staff, chefs, protocol officers, advisors, and elite guards, trained not just to serve, but to protect and observe without being seen. When Sultan Haitham receives guests, it's never a spectacle. There's no red carpet frenzy, no photo ops. Just quiet handshakes behind closed doors. Diplomats, CEOs, and world leaders are ushered into opulence wrapped in stillness, where every detail, from the incense that burns to the tea that's poured, follows an ancient rhythm of hospitality and control. But what truly separates Sultan Haitham from today's typical ruler isn't just his wealth, it's how he uses it. In January 2020, a shift occurred that would redefine Oman's future. The beloved Sultan Qaboos, Oman's ruler for nearly 50 years, passed away without a public successor. The nation stood still. What followed was not chaos, but choreography. Behind palace walls, a sealed envelope written by Sultan Qaboos years earlier was opened. Inside was the name, Haitham bin Tariq. No surprises, no contests, just continuity. To the outside world, Sultan Haitham appeared to step from the shadows. But he had never really been out of the picture. For 2 decades, he served as Oman's Minister of Heritage and Culture. He was the quiet guardian of Omani tradition, the man behind international partnerships, cultural diplomacy, and the quiet defense of national identity. His ascension was calm because it was earned. Unlike leaders who ride in on populist waves or military power, Haitham came to the throne by legacy, by trust, and by years of silent preparation. He wasn't chosen because he was loud. He was chosen because he was steady. Taking over in 2020 wasn't easy. Oil prices were plummeting. The region was politically volatile. Oman's economy needed reform. The pandemic was knocking at the door. And yet, true to form, Sultan Haitham didn't respond with dramatic declarations or sweeping television addresses. He responded with focus. He streamlined government ministries, cut excessive bureaucracy, and introduced measured reforms that encouraged foreign investment without sacrificing national autonomy. His policies didn't scream for applause. They spoke only to results. Even in diplomacy, Haitham remains Oman's quiet compass. While regional powers engage in headline battles, Oman under his watch remains the Middle East's subtle negotiator, a bridge between rivals, a refuge of neutrality. He doesn't chase power. He draws it in. In fact, one of Sultan Haytham's greatest strengths is knowing when not to speak. While others race to stake their claim in global debates, he listens, calculates, and only acts when it serves Oman's long-term position. It's not a style that wins social media, but it's a style that wins peace. And behind all of this, the jets, the yachts, the palaces, the policies, is a shield of security most people will never understand. The Sultan's personal safety is layered with invisible walls. Intelligence teams monitor threats in real time across continents. Surveillance systems extend from palace rooftops to airport terminals, from international embassies to private islands. Even the Sultan's absence from public view is part of a design. His unpredictability is a form of defense. No one knows where he'll appear next, because he doesn't want them to. He may host a foreign dignitary in Muscat on Monday, and by Tuesday morning, be aboard a jet to Europe or Asia, every movement protected by decoys, drone sweeps, and encrypted logistics. And the rare moments he does appear in public, every angle is locked down. The crowd is controlled. The atmosphere feels less like a political rally and more like an ancient ceremony, a blend of ritual, reverence, and reason. This is leadership at its most disciplined. No stunts, no scandals, just presence. In a world that increasingly rewards the loudest voice in the room, Sultan Haitham reminds us that real strength doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it travels without warning. It flies without a trace. It commands from behind closed doors. It builds alliances without ever needing to broadcast them. Sultan Haitham doesn't lead with noise, he leads with intent. Every plane, every yacht, every armored car is not just a status symbol. It's a tool in the architecture of authority. While others build brands, he builds legacy. While others chase moments, he preserves the moment. His story is not one of conquest. It is one of control, quiet, measured, and deeply rooted in Omani values of respect, diplomacy, and honor. You won't find his life dissected by tabloids. You won't see his face on Time magazine's cover. But ask any world leader, any intelligence operative, or any investor eyeing the Gulf. Oman remains one of the region's most stable players, and Sultan Haitham is the reason why. So now we ask you, in an era obsessed with visibility, could it be that the most powerful figure is the one who remains hidden? Which part of Sultan Haytham's lifestyle struck you the most? The air fleet soaring across nations, the sea palaces that glide through diplomacy, or the secretive rise of a leader who was always there, just beneath the surface? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you won't miss more cinematic stories of the world's most fascinating leaders.